Aromas was our first baby.
Hello, my name's David Tomlinson.
And my name is Kay Tomlinson. We set up Absolute Aromas in 1994. Aromatherapy was something we were interested in and we investigated it further. I loved the products, but at the time I was really busy at work and David was changing jobs at the time, so he had the opportunity to go on some training courses and spend some time learning about aromatherapy.
I needed to do anatomy, physiology and massage first, and then I went on to study aromatherapy. I was particularly interested in the essential oils themselves and the potential benefits, and also where they came from and what was the chemistry of it. But I was still a novice at that stage, so I recruited an essential oils chemist and an aromatherapist to help when we were starting the business. And that was absolutely invaluable. The essential oils chemist had got 40 years of experience in the essential oils industry, so he was able to point us in the right direction and make sure that we were buying pure, high-quality essential oils right from day one.
We had a lot of fun shopping around, and we went to a university shop which had an aromatherapy kit. We bought this kit and we tried all the different oils and we loved the product. So that was the first few steps of investigating it just for fun at that time.
Using oils at home was a revelation. We loved it. And we decided as a result of that we should find out more. When we started the company, we felt very strongly that part of what we were buying and what we were most interested in was the story behind the oils and where they come from and what's so special about them. So right from the beginning we put a little leaflet in with each and every oil explaining what the product was and why we'd chosen that particular one and where it came from. So consumers leave an awful lot of decisions to their supplier. For example, we have to decide which of hundreds of different lavender samples we actually choose to buy. The difference can be quite significant. Every country of origin, every different year, they're natural products, they vary a lot, and it's up to us to make the decisions as to which ones we think justify the Absolute Aromas brand. Right at the beginning, I was working on Absolute Aromas, setting it up and deciding on brands and everything else. Kay, whilst giving lots of advice in the background, was busy working and earning the money that kept the mortgage being paid.
So I was working as an accountant in London, and I was enjoying very much being part of Absolute Aromas, but at an arm's length. So I was very involved in all the decision making and what we were doing and where we were trying to sell the products.
I seem to remember you particularly enjoyed being a guinea pig for some of my massage training.
Yes, no, that was great fun.
It's been an incredibly busy 25 years because not only did we start the company in 1994, but shortly after we had our first child. So we now have 3 children. They're aged 25, 23 and 21. When we just started, we met some insolvency practitioners, which was a little bit depressing in many respects, having just started our own business. But we said, do you think it's absolutely mad to start a company? And they said, well, I think you've probably done a very good thing. You started at exactly the right time. If you don't have any assets, you can't lose very much, can you? I think it's amazing where the number of different countries these products come from. The fact that we buy products from Madagascar and Paraguay and Haiti.
One of my favourite places to visit a supplier was Paraguay, because Paraguay was a place you wouldn't normally get to visit. It's a joy to be involved in not just the touristy side, but also seeing how the economy functions.
For example, getting to the pettigrain fields on the back of a bullock cart, cutting the bitter orange trees down to the ground with a scythe, collecting up the material, putting it into a wooden still, and tamping it down, and then taking the essential oils out after that. It was so simple and basic, and it could have been done hundreds of years ago without any need for mobile phones and modern technology. Our most important product is probably lavender, and going to the south of France, not every year but almost every year, to see the lavender growing and to visit our suppliers and making sure that we're buying from the best places and so on is a pleasure. The whole region is steeped in lavender. It is so important to the culture and the economy of that area. And it's not just for the production of lavender essential oil. It's also an attraction to the bees, and the honey industry is extremely important in that area, and it's probably almost as big as the actual essential oil industry.
The reason why I really love the aroma side of essential oils is that it's just there in the background. It just gives you a lift at home. You get into a ritual of using essential oils at home, and you actually positively miss it when you don't use them. So every morning I like to put on different essential oils that are appropriate for that day. Sometimes I go all citrusy, uplifting, and other times I want something more floral. At the moment, my particular favourite is geranium because it's fresh and yet it is floral. I'm not heavy on the really, really heavy floral ones because I think there's an edge to geranium.
It's interesting that geranium, I always think of it as a floral oil, but it's not. It's from the leaf. So that beautiful floral aroma comes from the leaves of the plant, and I always think that's quite sort of surprising.
I think that's probably why I like it, because I like that tinge. But then there's other times when I want to go more for the sandalwood, patchouli aromas. It just depends on my mood of that day.
So I'd like to ask you, do you choose the oil depending on your mood to change your mood or to reflect your mood?
Actually, I think it's more to reflect my mood. It's sort of, I'm in an upbeat mood, and then I tend to use those sort of upbeat kind of aromas. Oh, I do love petitgrain as well. It does remind me of cologne because it's one of the ingredients in a lot of colognes. And when I first travelled, I went to Madrid as an au pair, and I noticed even in the buses and the tubes or the metro there, you'd get a faint backdrop aroma of the cologne, because in those days all the children were sprayed with cologne once they had their baths and things. And I think it just smells are so evocative of what your memories are associated with as well. And so a smell takes you back so quickly to sort of happy times, different times. And so petitgrain to me will forever remind me of cologne.
I think my favourite Absolute Aromas product is the organic high altitude lavender, or organic AOP lavender fine. It is a stunning, beautiful product. It grows at 1,300 meters altitude in a family farm that's been producing lavender for generations. The care and attention that goes into it is amazing. They have one high quality standard of lavender, and they produce to the AOP standards, Appellation Origine Protégée, which is very specific in how the lavender is produced, and it has to go through a panel to be approved every year to make sure that it reaches the required quality. So it's fabulous, and it's organic as well. So my other favourites, I found rose a fascinating product. Rose is going to visit the rose harvest in Bulgaria, which I've done on numerous occasions, is quite fascinating. So for a period of about 6 weeks, when the roses are in full flower, every morning more rosebuds will flower and come out and will be picked. So daily they produce more, and the sheer volume of rose petals that are picked but are needed. So it takes 4 tons of rose petals to produce 1 kilo of rose oil. It's a phenomenal number. So that's about 4 million of the little rose heads, which are about 1 gram each. It's quite incredible the number of plants and flowers that are needed to supply us with the essential oils that we're after.
I do love rose, and I think it's absolutely lovely in so many different things. And I also think I want to say thank you to our suppliers, because every year when they send us samples, they send them in the most beautiful little bottles. And I have happily over the years converted those into Christmas decorations. So our Christmas trees invariably have these beautiful little wooden bottles with intricate designs on them as well. And so there is usually a waft of gentle rose around our tree, which is quite special, I think.
Thank you very much for watching this. Please subscribe to our YouTube videos. We're going to be bringing more and more out about essential oils, where they come from, what's special about them and how you can use them.
Do engage with us on social media channels, because we love to hear from all our customers and non-customers, people who just want to know more about aromatherapy.
If you found a particularly interesting or pleasant way to use essential oils, please let us know. We're always interested to hear.